What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lampzy back again with another video today with a transfer talk episode going 3 weeks strong, 2 weeks in a row for on Tuesday, so Tuesdays might be the main thing, but obviously I'll get straight into it today. Going 2 stars, starting off strong, no, not even bothering about the 1 stars. Now we got Mesut Ozil to Manchester United. Now it's a pretty rare one that's come up online. Arsenal fans pretty shit, Arsenal shit as well. Wenger average. I can't really say too much. Obviously he's a legend, but Ozil being one of their key men. If Arsenal fall outside of the top 4, I can't really see Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, staying. He is linked to Manchester United. Can't really see it happening too much because he is 28 years of age. Mourinho, I suppose, is one of those players that likes to buy for the future. But I can't really see Mesut Ozil really sinking into that spot very much because, you got the likes of Juan Mata playing in that position and he's an absolute god at the cam spot, so I can't really see him moving on to Manchester United. Now, moving on to 3 stars. Now, I haven't got really much time for the 1s and 2 stars today, but moving on slightly now. So we've got Andre Belotti now. This one is linked to stay at Torino. Now, he's had an absolute ball of a season at Torino this year. He's bagging in goals, and obviously he's had the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal all wanting him. Obviously a lot of other teams around the world probably want him too. I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid or Barcelona would probably want him as well, but obviously he is rumoured to stay. Now, his buyout clause is absolutely ridiculous at the moment. It is sitting at 100,000 euros, which is absolutely ridiculous money now. But there's a pro and con to both sides of this story. Now, obviously Belotti has kicked a lot of goals this season, and Torino to have someone to come in for Belotti if Belotti was sold would be a little bit hard. Obviously Torino not being the greatest team out there as well, but the thing is, if Andre Belotti decides to stay, or if Torino want to keep Andre Belotti, and if he has an average season next year, they might lose out on 100 million euros. And to be fair, if he does have a killer season again, well, obviously the buyout clause will go up, but I can't see it going too much higher than this. But to see Belotti move on might be a bit crazy, but for him to stay, I can see it possibly happening, but it's a 50-50. It's gone either way. But to see what Torino do with Belotti will be pretty crazy. Now, moving on to the next player here. Now, I didn't really want to make too much note of this one, but I've seen way too much come up in the news, and it's Diego Costa, and he is linked away out of the Stamford Bridge. Now, it's really hard for me to talk about this one. I don't really want him to leave very much, and obviously I pay a lot of attention to the Chelsea transfer news, and at first I didn't really believe too much of what's been happening. I'm pretty biased regarding what transfers are going to happen, what aren't going to happen, but this one here is obviously Diego Costa linked on the way out. Now, start of the season he was linked out as well. He didn't want in at all, and Conte was like, no, you're staying, you're a Chelsea contracted player, and I want you to be here. And obviously he's stayed on board, and he's kicked 17 goals for us this year, and a lot of those goals have been in those vital wins. The one that sticks out to me the most is that 87th minute winner against West Brom, but obviously we're not really here to talk about Costa very much. He's linked on the way out. Now, obviously he's also linked to China earlier on in the season, in the summer. I can't really see Costa really moving to China, but if he's all about the money, which a lot of players are sort of going for these days, he would go to China. But for me to accept Diego Costa possibly making a move overseas, even just not to be in a blue Chelsea kit, would be heartbreaking. But that's my views. Costa, way out, maybe not. Fingers crossed not, because we need him. The next player here that I have seen over the last couple of weeks, as well as Diego Costa, but it is Mamadou Sakho, which is linked to a return back to Liverpool. Now, obviously he's on loan at Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace are surviving somehow. I don't know how. They beat Chelsea. Now they thump Arsenal 3-0. And to be fair, Crystal Palace are gonna stay up. I can't believe it. I'm gonna say it. They're gonna easily finish above the bottom 3. But obviously we're not here to talk about Crystal Palace. But Mamadou Sakho is linked back to Liverpool. I can't really see it happening too much, to be honest, because Jurgen Klopp and Mamadou Sakho had a falling out. because Mamadou Sakho did fucking drugs, and Jurgen Klopp hates them, and that's why he was given out on loan at the start of the season. Now, to be fair, Liverpool do need a better backline because their defense is fucking shit. Their attack is pretty sweet, but they are struggling in the backline. I know Mignolet did pull off a few good saves over the weekend, but it doesn't really counter for what the defense is capable of doing, which is conceding fucking goals. And Mamadou Sakho would probably fit back into that team with ease, and it would help them out if they make Champions League next year. But if they don't fit up their defense for next year, and if they make Champions League and or the Europa League, they're going to get smashed. Like, they are not going to keep a clean sheet at all. But to see Mamadou Sakho back in the Liverpool crest, I can't really see it happening too much. Now, moving on to the last 3-star rating that I have for this week's episode. Now, we've also got Eric Lamela, who is at Spurs at the moment. Probably isn't enjoying life too much at Spurs because they don't win shit. And to be fair, he's not starting at all. I can't even remember the last time Eric Lamela even started. It'd be awkward if he started on the weekend, but I don't think he did. He's a really good talent. I'm not gonna lie. He's sick with his feet, and he is linked obviously to Inter Milan. Now, I can actually see that happening. But the thing is, Spurs will want to keep their depth for next season because they will be playing Champions League. They're looking like a stronger and stronger team that will definitely compete for the Premier League next year. I'm really worried that they're going to chase Chelsea down, and I'm having a little bit of a panic attack whether to see if they can actually keep up with us, and I really hope Chelsea don't slip up. But obviously, Eric Lamela is linked to Inter Milan, and that's what counts because Ivan Perisic is most likely going to be on his way out, and to replace Perisic it will be pretty hard because Perisic has been sick, but Eric Lamela might be a great fit. He's played in the Italian league before, and I'm sure he could do it again. So possibly it could happen, but I think Spurs will probably want to keep him for another season just for depth reasons because they're going to go all out next year. Moving on to our 4-star ratings of this week's video. Now, we do have Alexander Lacazette, who is linked a move away from Olympique Lyonnais. Now, he is basically the king right now, but he is linked away to either Manchester City or Atletico Madrid. Now, he has bagged in 30 goals already this season, and I'm sure he's going to kick a few more before the season ends. And he's only 25 years of age, and he's only just starting to hit his prime now. And strikers can stay strong until around 35, and we've seen that because of Zlatan. But the price range is gone for about 40 to 50 million at the moment. It is alleged that Atletico Madrid are leading the chase for him, and Man City are trying to pip their way through. I can't really see Man City going for him too much, but to see him go to Atletico Madrid would be crazy. And the only way that I can think of this happening is if Antoine Griezmann does leave Atletico Madrid, because obviously they got Fernando Torres and they got Kevin Gamero as well. So 4 strikers, it would be a bit average to have. But I think if Griezmann does leave, Alexander Lacazette is going to be the greatest replacement. I can't see Kun leaving, and I can't see Gabriel Jesus leaving. So that's why Atletico Madrid are probably leading the chase there as well. So moving on to the next one here. Now we've got we're staying with Manchester City. Now we've got Wilfried Zaha. Now obviously he was a flop at Manchester United, and I feel like he wasn't given enough time at United because he is an absolute freak. He's been killing it for Crystal Palace this season, and he's only 25 years old as well, so obviously that's still pretty young, and his price tag is going at 30 million. Now he's linked to Man City, and for him to slot into that team would be a bit average, but if Man City offer the money to Crystal Palace, they'll easily take it. So the real big talking point is, do Man City really need him? Now they got Sane and Sterling and Jesus Navas. Obviously they probably don't really need that extra depth because David Silva can also slot into that left or right side as well. But to see it happen, if they throw the money at Crystal Palace are going to jump on that shit. So to see Zaha move away would probably going to be happening, not going to lie, whether it is Man City or if he finds another club, because he's got some serious talent. I know he's a bit of a sook, but he's a fucking beast. So moving on to the last 4-star that we've got for this one here is Willian Jose. Might be thinking, who the fuck is Willian Jose now? So I did do my research on him a little bit. Now he is a Real Sociedad striker. Now he is 25 years of age and he is linked to Everton because Everton will be losing Lukaku, because Lukaku's like, why the fuck will I want to stay here? Because you guys ain't gonna make Champions League. And I don't blame him, because Lukaku is clearly a level above just about 90% of the strikers in the Premier League at the moment. There's only a few that are just as good as him, and Everton are going to have to find a replacement. Now Ronald Koeman wants Willian Jose. To see this happen, I can see it happening, because they're definitely going to need a replacement, and Koeman knows his potential, so this could be a really good one for Everton. Now he has scored 10 goals in 18 games, 27 million euros. Pretty good price, to be honest, because 27 million doesn't get you much these days. But to see him go over to Everton might be a good move for him. Star ratings. Now I've only got 2 this week. I do apologise that I haven't got as many rumours this week, but the first one is Jordan Pickford. Now he is Sunderland's goalkeeper. Now Sunderland have been pretty lucky that Jordan Pickford has been on the fucking ball this season, because if it wasn't for Jordan Pickford, they'd be getting fucking smacked 6, 7, 8-0 every week. Jordan Pickford is a beast. He's got so much potential. He will definitely be England's goalkeeper. He is only 23 years of age, and he's just got so much potential. But to be fair, like I overheard the commentators on the weekend at the halftime show between Man United and Sunderland, if Jordan Pickford goes to a team like Chelsea or Manchester United or Spurs, just a big club in general where he'll be the second choice goalkeeper, it's not going to be good for his career growth. Now, if he wants to go to a club, he would want to go to a club that will give him the first preference. Now, if a club isn't going to give him the first preference as a goalkeeper, I would stay at Sunderland, and hopefully Sunderland will promote back. But the rate Sunderland are going, they're not even going to make back in the Premier League. They'll finish mid-table in the Championship next season. But to be fair, Jordan Pickford is only 23 years of age, so we've still got a lot of growth to do. And goalkeepers do retire at an elderly rate, because now we look at Buffon and everything being almost in his 40s. But Jordan Pickford has been linked to 3 different clubs now. One of them is Arsenal. Now Arsenal, Petr Cech will be on the way out eventually, because getting old, and Ospina's shit. And as we saw on the weekend, Arsenal got absolutely thumped. I can't even remember who was in goals. I think it was some Argentinian goalkeeper that I don't think really anyone had really ever heard of. I think obviously the backup of the backup. So, and to be fair, Jordan Pickford would actually fit really well into an Arsenal side, I reckon. So it might be good. I think it was Emiliano Martinez who actually started for Arsenal. But anyway, that's beyond the point. He's also linked to Everton as well, and West Ham as well. So 3 clubs that are after him. I can't really see Adrian staying at West Ham, and I think Everton have got Robles in goals, I think. So I don't really think any of these teams wouldn't mind giving a first choice goalkeeper spot up. So I can definitely see Pickford leaving Sunderland. I can't really see him leaving, but if a club doesn't want to give him first choice, I would stay, because he's got so much potential. Like, he can go places. Now, it's really not a rumour as much as what I have been talking about, but it is Paulo Dybala. Now, obviously, he's Juventus' starting striker up next to Gonzalo Higuain. He's an absolute tank. Now, he has been compared to Messi, and he doesn't really like it. He is only 23 years of age, and he's been at Juventus since 2015. Now, the talks have been saying that he might be on his way out, but he has slammed the door on that one. He is staying at Juventus. He's scored 27 goals in 56 appearances so far. Hasn't kicked any goals for Argentina yet, but I'm sure his time will come. But he's slammed the door shut, guys. He's staying at Juventus. Juventus are going to be the powerhouse, and they're going to win the Champions League. And we're going to leave on that note. So if you guys have enjoyed this week's episode, please do give it a like. Please do subscribe. Share the fuck out of this video if you have enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on my next video. Peace.